The old man T.D. Jakes is back in the news again, but not for the best of information, at least not for the reasons that we would hope he'd be back, like, say, I repent. No, we're not that at all. In fact, he's back with trying to do a countersuit to someone making an accusation against him. He calls it a defamation lawsuit, but we'll break the things down because, we've covered a few things going back about 4 years ago now. The first one we spoke about were some men that came forward that said, during their time at Potter's house, that T.D. Jakes had done some unwanted advances to them sexually, and that in some cases he actually went through with some very unwanted acts upon them as well. Well, it seems like he has had enough of people saying stuff about him, and he's saying enough is enough. Okay, TD, and he does not want his name being run through the mud anymore, and so he has something to say. So we're gonna read this particular article, see what he actually has to say since his heart attack. In today exclusive, celebrity pastor TD. I like how they put that. Celebrity Pat, best statement ever to describe him. Celebrity pastor T.D. Jakes denied sexual assault allegations made by two brothers against him, and he said he filed a defamation lawsuit against one of them because enough is enough. Hold on, I want to make sure I read that right because I'm a little confused. That sexual assault made by two brothers against him, and he said he filed a defamation lawsuit against one of them because enough is enough. So only one of them's telling the truth? Or I'm confused. Anyway, y'all can figure that part out because I can't. I don't know about that one. Anyway, Jake spoke with Craig Melvin on March 26th, talking about taking legal action in response to accusations by Dwayne Youngblood. I'd heard that name before. That Jakes tried to sexually assault and groom him in the 1980s. That's why I remember that name. He was one of the names on that piece of report that we spoke about 4 years ago. I filed a suit because I don't ever speak back. It just continues to go on and on and on. And I decided enough is enough. But Mr. Jakes, this is what you said at your church. You don't have to say anything because God got you. That's what you said. So I'm guessing God don't got you. Okay, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. The founders of Potter's House mega church in Dallas with 30,000 members filed a defamation lawsuit on November 25th, 2024 in a Pennsylvania court. The legal action came after Dwayne Youngblood went on a YouTube talk show, Larry Reed Live, in October of 24 and said Jakes tried to groom and sexually abuse him when Youngblood, who is now in his late 50s, was 18 or 19, according to the lawsuit. From start to finish, Youngblood's tales of grooming and attempted sexual assault in the hands of Bishop Jake is patently false, Jake's attorney said. The defamation lawsuit also alleged that Dwayne Youngblood sent Jakes a letter asking for $6 million to resolve the matter quickly and privately in the wake of Youngblood's appearances on the YouTube show, the court document says. Jakes alleges that Youngblood was also a pastor, is a registered sex offender whose allegations against Jakes are a desperate attempt to rehabilitate his image and build a new ministry for himself, according to the court document. You know what's interesting about this article is the inability to see how somebody could say don't do this about something in the past while saying something about somebody else in their past. Very interesting. Anyway, Dwayne Youngblood was convicted of sexual assault of a minor in 2008 and corruption of minors in 2014, according to Pennsylvania Sex Offender Registry. Jakes reiterated on today that he absolutely denies the allegations. I haven't seen this person for 40 years, Jake said. The problem with this is that the person filing the allegations spoke about this years upon years ago. It's not new. If they are talking about trying to get money from him of the tune of $6 million, doesn't seem nearly enough to constitute, at least from the surface of it, and any kind of a blackmail because they didn't do something. Seems like a pretty small number, really, to get anything going and moving if you know what today's climate is like, even 10, 15 years ago. Now, in his statement, he's saying, okay, because the guy was arrested for with messing with minors, he no longer has a case. My take on this, and this is just my take, perhaps the reason that man is messing with minors is because when he was a minor, he was messed with. Mr. Jakes. Just a thought process here. It's so weird that a lot of the people that go through a lot of abuse end up doing the exact same abuse to other people. It might seem like his life is actually reflective of the truth, possibly, possibly. It doesn't. I don't think it. I'm looking at this and saying it could never be. It almost feels as though, almost, Mr. Jakes, almost that you're doing this in an effort to make sure that the person does not be seen as valid. And but what he's saying and how he's lived his life seems to suggest the complete opposite. Now, this is still has to go to court. This has to be verified, figured out by the system, whether or not Mr. Youngblood's case is going to go forward, or whether or not TD Jakes is going to go forward. I still find it weird at the very beginning of this article, he's only going after one of them. Now, mind you, there were two brothers, and they both said that Jakes messed with them. So why is Jakes only going after the one? Possibly because he can get more traction with Mr. Youngblood, seeing as how Mr. Youngblood has a little bit of a sordid past. It could be that he's looking at Mr. Youngblood's past and saying, see, he doesn't have a leg to stand on. He's a pervert. Why would you listen to him? Almost seems like victim shaming. But hey, who am I to guess? I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not involved in this situation to say either way or to have an impact on the case. But I will say this. Going after just one brother could be, especially in this manner, could be a scare tactic to the other. If you don't want me coming after you, I will be sure that you will drop what you're trying to do right now. If, however, it manages to scare the person, they get what they want. But if it doesn't work, why not have a lawsuit on both of them? If they're both in this specific thing that they're bringing to you and saying you did this to them, why is only one of them being branded a liar? Why? The only reason we can possibly think is that there isn't enough dirt on the other brother for this to go any further, and he doesn't really have a way to stop it. But if he can discredit one, people by proxy might discredit the second brother, so he doesn't have to do as much work to shut down the situation. Heard stories maybe perhaps that he was coerced into doing this defamation by the wife because the wife doesn't want anybody thinking that he definitely has had a hand in it. Try and make everything look clean on the up and up. Why take this long to file the defamation lawsuit? Now remember, 2024 was when we filed that. We reported on these people talking about this stuff 4.5 years ago. And that letter was older than that. That letter was written somewhere in the early 2000s. They had been talking about this since early 2000, finally bringing forward this so-called defamation in 2024. Seems kind of weird that the timing also coincides with a lot that's going on with Diddy. Again, you've been spotted with him. So are we supposed to take the fact that you are spotted with somebody who's now on trial for something that you're in affiliation with them? We're not going to do that necessarily. I mean, but you are one of those people that, are happy to say I'm your mentor after all, spiritual mentor. So in this case, it seems almost like you're trying to run from something or try to get it ahead of the smoke so that the fire doesn't show up. It just seems fishy, Mr. Jakes, that you're coming forward with this idea of I'm going to countersuit and countersuit and countersuit. I don't know that I can trust this so-called countersuit as on its surface as something that you think is actually something you didn't do. It almost feels like you did, and you're trying to act to the public in the most obvious way of denial, defamation lawsuit. We'll keep an eye on this one because for me, I'm just smelling something's up with this. Stepping away from all your ministry. Yeah, I know you're old, but you still talk pretty good. You've lost a whole bunch of weight. But stepping away from this ministry and then all this stuff coming out with Diddy, and now you're trying to seemingly damage control. There might be something going on that we don't know about, or at least some more things coming down the pike that could end up putting a tarnished image on Mr. Jakes. But we'll find out here soon enough. Whatever your thoughts are, what do you think? Mr. Youngblood's lying? Do you think that Jakes has a valid case to say that because this man has had a registered past with kids that he needs to shut up and go away? Or maybe is what Jakes did possibly to him that had caused Mr. Youngblood to have a certain affinity for certain things because he himself was abused? Whatever your thoughts are, please leave them in the comment section below because we look forward to hearing your take on this one.